Hi guys! It's a rainy day here in Switzerland and I figured that it's the perfect time for some storytelling. I want to tell you the story about my projects, MaFrieSto and the Fire Monkey. This is a story of inspiration and procrastination, the things that everyone can relate to, I guess. It all started in the late spring of 2015 when my young student and friend Kate made me realize that the language itself is not the only thing that I teach. I always tell meaningful and enlightening stories. It seems as if I have a story for each life situation that can occur to somebody. Even every single word reminds me of a person or a song or event. Surprisingly for me, my students never got annoyed by my stories, and on the contrary, they learned a lot from them and they loved them. So then the brainstorming began, how to organize these stories and pass on the inspiration and the knowledge they hold, how to spread the word and let more people know about the wonderful individuals that I have met along the way and the crazy experiences that I've had. After a whole load of thinking and brainstorming and discussing, MaFrieSto was born, Mari's Friend Stories. I created a logo, a few of them actually, started contacting my friends, asking them to write their stories down for me and trying to explain the purpose of my project. You know how it goes. You have a brilliant idea, you're overwhelmed with emotions and inspiration, and then it gets difficult to explain what you mean and what you actually want from people. Some of my friends did somehow get my point and they sent in their stories, but many got sort of scared away by my intensity and by my hectic thinking. They didn't understand what I wanted from them. I felt I saw it so clearly in my head, the way it should work, but I actually didn't, and therefore my friends couldn't either. Some of them didn't have the inspiration to write anything, some of them procrastinated, the others just never replied. A few guys did write their stories, but then I didn't have the inspiration to make the lessons out of them, and I feel really, really bad about it. I'm sorry guys, I promise. However, the website had been created with the help of yet another friend of mine, but we had uploaded a few worksheets, designed everything, but shortly after he got distracted by the other projects he had been working on. So eventually I was left alone with the website I had no idea how to deal with. I'm not a computer person at all. I bet you all know the feeling when you want all at once, when you got the idea and you need the result immediately. When the step-by-step way seems dull and stupid, well, it isn't, and I had to learn it the hard way. The next wave of inspiration hit me when I went on a Euro trip to visit my old friends. I wanted to interview all of them and make lessons, but I ended up absorbing the stories rather than writing them down, which is also a good thing, isn't it? I got back to Russia after 2 months of traveling, being full of ideas and confusion, willing to create great things, yet feeling lost and sort of lonely. So, as I usually do in such situations, I decided to work 24/7, not to have even the tiniest chance to think about my life and what to do next. To cheer myself up a little, I went to IKEA and I got a double board, you know, the one that has a white board on the one side and a black board on the other. I used to have such board when I lived in Prague. I was teaching there, and I remembered it being very handy at my private lessons. At that time, my friend Paul had nowhere to live, so he moved in with me for a couple of months. One night he went out to a party and I drew a funny picture of him on the board as a party boy to make him laugh once he got home. He and our friends loved the picture and it made me understand that I really miss drawing. When I lived in India, I used to draw, paint whenever I had free time. I would stay up all night painting the walls, creating some flowers or creatures in them. And yeah, it was there in India where I discovered my hidden passion and some might say talent for art. Before that, I had been told that I was really bad at it. A few days later, after Paul's party, The word to cheer came up at a lesson. I explained this word through the cheerleader impression, and then the adjective cheerful and the adverb cheerfully came along. And I told my student how essential it is to learn new words together with their other forms, with verbs, adverbs, nouns, adjectives. And that's how the first word of the day appeared on the whiteboard. I was so happy because I managed to combine the two biggest loves of mine, drawing and teaching. I would get up at 6 o'clock every morning to have enough time to come up with a new word, to explain and draw before my lessons began. I would upload a picture every morning on my Instagram. I can't say that there were that many people who liked them, but those who did loved and appreciated my work so much that it kept me going on and on. MaFrieSto, though, was always in the back of my mind, making me feel guilty for abandoning such a great idea. But I was hooked on drawing, and I just couldn't stop. Neither could I stop brainstorming of what else I could draw. I wanted to draw everything in this world. My dad told me that it would have been great if there were one character who would sort of represent me and be the teacher in the pictures. It was in mid-October, and it hit me there has to be a calendar drawn by me. What I always say to my students and friends, that English has to be a part of your everyday life. And a calendar hanging on your wall does attract your attention quite often, doesn't it? So I ran home, I googled the symbol of 2016, and there it was, the fire monkey. I quickly sketched it in my album. It did look a little like my roommate Paul. He's my muse, yes, I admit it. I didn't even have a single paintbrush at home, so I painted the fire monkey with my makeup brush and some remains of dried paint I had at home. I took a picture of it, posted on Instagram and other social media, asking people whether they would want to buy a calendar created by me in the same style as the Word of the Day pictures. And the reaction was so positive, and everybody was looking forward to purchasing such a great New Year gift for either themselves or their friends and family. Yay, I got myself a new project, a new goal. Wait a second, so now I kinda have to do it because I promised to, and it feels like a job, but that's not how the creative process works, is it? So every time I sat down to work on the calendar, something different would come up. I created a funny alphabet inspired by my nephew's love for superheroes and monsters. I made a couple of board games, and I was still focused on the whiteboard drawings. I had woken up in the end of November, the new year is coming, and I got nothing. So I cancelled half of my lessons. I couldn't eat or sleep properly for about 3 weeks. I was researching, writing, drawing, correcting, and so on. In the meantime, my friend Anna started baking amazing ginger cookies and selling them at a local bakery. I told her that she had to participate in a Christmas market that was coming soon. And the only way to convince her was to go with her selling my calendars. Oh my god, I just got myself a deadline. Well, the night before, of course, exactly the night before the market, 50 calendars and 15 sets of the ABC cards were printed and ready to be sold. I couldn't believe my eyes. The quality was so amazing. It's such a great feeling to hold your creation, the baby of your hard work and imagination. I still got one. I travel with it everywhere, hang it on the walls wherever I live. Of course, I found a bunch of mistakes on the pages of the calendar. I don't tell my students and friends to be attentive and to double check everything because I'm so smart and I know better. I don't. I've been horribly absent-minded when it comes to writing my whole life. Seriously, I don't know what my problem is. Well, most of the calendars were sold and given as presents in the first couple of weeks, and I can't describe how happy I was to pack and send the fire monkey to different countries and cities, knowing that my dear friends and students would have it hanging on their walls throughout the whole year 2016. On the 1st of January, I woke up as early as I could, of course, and I started the Fire Monkey's Instagram account. I kept on drawing, but now I had the main character in the pictures that gave me more inspiration and a little more responsibility. In February, I went to Thailand for a month. I had more time to create lessons and pictures and discovered that I didn't necessarily need the whiteboard for that, although I did miss it a lot and I do now, but it works without it. And now the monkey and I have over 1,500 followers on Instagram, and the account is growing so rapidly and beautifully. Eventually, the fire monkey found its way to become a part of MaFrieSto, and all the puzzle pieces of my hectic and crazy thinking fit together. It is a cliche that everything will happen when the time is right, but trust me, it's such a great and a true cliche. The time wasn't right for me a year and a half ago, and the wise step-by-step way actually worked, and it's working now, allowing me to do things gradually and more wisely, efficiently. Yeah. I just want to thank you guys so much for your support and feedback. It's a great pleasure to be able to share my knowledge and experience with you. Figuring out the way to create free and fun English resources for teachers and students brought me as an educator to a whole new level. As English isn't a school subject, it's not science, it's a communication tool. It's a way to express yourself, to express your beautiful individuality. And please, learning mustn't be boring, it mustn't be stressful. We learn best when we are having fun, when we are enjoying ourselves, when we are relaxed and happy. So let's keep having fun together and learn this beautiful language that brings thousands, millions of people around the world closer together. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your likes and comments. Just thank you for being with me. Stay tuned, happy learning, and I see you soon with more lessons. Bye bye.